What if everything you were taught about the rise of the British Empire was only half the truth? What if it wasn't just about powerful ships, brave explorers, or superior armies, but a hidden web of secret deals, financial manipulation, and covert alliances? Because behind the glory of empire, there were deals made in shadows, kings influenced without war, nations weakened without firing a single shot, and entire continents controlled without people even realizing it. This is not just history. This is the story of how power was quietly engineered. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at the British Empire the same way again. Because the real question is, did Britain conquer the world? Or did it outsmart it? Before we dive into the main story, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell notification button for more interesting video like this. When people think about the rise of Britain, they imagine naval dominance and military victories. Yes, the Royal Navy mattered, but ships alone don't build empires that span the globe. The truth? Britain mastered something far more powerful: control without direct control. At the center of this strategy was one of the most powerful organizations in history, the British East India Company. A company, not a government, but it had its own army, its own currency, and eventually control over millions of people. This wasn't colonization as you imagine it. This was corporate conquest. Britain didn't just invade nations. It rewired their economies. Take India. Before British dominance, India was one of the world's richest regions. But under the East India Company, local industries were dismantled. Raw materials were extracted cheaply. Finished goods were sold back at high prices. It created a dependency cycle. Britain didn't just take wealth. It made sure wealth could only flow through them. Even local rulers became financially tied to British interests. Debt became a weapon. Trade became a trap. And economics became control. Britain rarely fought alone. Instead, it perfected a strategy that would define its empire: divide and rule. Rather than confronting large unified powers, Britain supported rival factions, funded internal conflicts, backed leaders who served British interests. In India, Africa, and the Middle East, they didn't just conquer, they influenced outcomes from behind the scenes. Alliances were formed quietly. Deals were made secretly. And when conflicts ended, Britain always seemed to come out stronger. Not because it fought harder, but because it played smarter. Behind every major expansion, there were hidden negotiations. Take the Treaty of Paris 1763. On the surface, it ended war. But in reality, it quietly handed Britain vast territories across North America and beyond. No dramatic conquest, just strategic negotiation. Then there were secret correspondences between British officials and foreign leaders. Promises made, territories exchanged, influence traded, all without the public ever knowing the full story. Here's the most powerful secret of all. Britain didn't just control land, it controlled narratives. The empire was portrayed as civilizing, modernizing, bringing order. But behind that image were systems designed for extraction and dominance. Education, media, and governance were all shaped to reinforce British authority. Even those being ruled sometimes believed in the system. And that's when power becomes unstoppable. When people don't just obey, they accept. By the 19th century, the British Empire had become the largest empire in history. But it wasn't just land. It was a global system. Trade routes controlled by British ships. Financial systems linked to London. Political influence stretching across continents. From India to Africa. From the Caribbean to Southeast Asia. Everything was connected. And at the center? Britain. Not just as a country, but as the controller of a global machine. So here's the truth they don't always tell you. The British Empire didn't rise just through strength. It rose through strategy, manipulation, and hidden influence. But here's where it gets even more unsettling. Many of these systems didn't disappear. They evolved. Global trade, financial dominance, political influence. Echoes of the empire still exist today. So the real question is, Did the British Empire truly fall? Or did it simply change form? If this changed how you see history, make sure you subscribe, because the next story might reveal secrets even more shocking than this one. For more videos like this, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.